Hi everyone, welcome to this video. I am Natasja, and first off I'd like to thank all of my new subscribers for joining me. Thank you for joining my channel and supporting me, and I hope your time on my channel is time well spent. I'm going to do it a little different today. Usually I'm showing also how I shuffle the cards and prepare the readings. I skipped that part. I've already prepared 4 stacks of cards, and the question today is going to be, will we be together? And if yes, when and how? So let's see what these cards have to say. But first I'd like to ask you to please interact with this video, share it, like it, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, if you want a private reading, you can contact me by email. You can also follow me on Patreon. Patreon is discontinued. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And links are all in the description box below. And if you want to support my work or want to do an energy exchange or feel that these readings are helping you, you want to do something in return, then you can also use my PayPal link to make a donation as well. So, as I already explained, I have 4 stacks of cards prepared, and I would please like you to tell me whether you prefer me doing it this way, or do you really want to see me shuffling and laying out the cards. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying something new, and please let me know what your preference is. If there's a distinct preference that you have for one way or the other, please let me know, because then I will take that in account as well. Now, I have 4 stacks. I have 4 andaras, and the first one is this green one. The second one is this ocean colored or petrol colored. The third one is this blue andara, bit indigo. And the fourth one is this purple andara. Now, I will also advise you, if you are making a choice in any pick a card reading, it's very important that you pick the right stack. Now, what is a good method to choose the right stack? I usually use a muscle test, which means that I put my middle finger and my thumb together, and with my other hand I place 2 fingers in between the circle and use my thumb to see if I can release these 2 fingers. If they get stuck together, that means that that is a very accurate stack for you. If they are a little loosey, then the reading may apply, but not everything may be for your specific situation. If it's very loose, if there's no strength to hold these 2 fingers together, then the reading is not for you. This is a foolproof, fail-safe method of choosing the right stack, because sometimes we are guided by the color of the stones or the color of the deck or a specific deck that we like to see or things like that, and they can cloud the way you choose the right set of cards for you. Now, let me begin with this first reading, the green one. For this green andara, which is the color of the heart chakra, I prepared a stack of cards, and first off I already got 4 jumping cards, so let me lay them out first. Oh, I need to turn them over this way. And then we have the cards for the reading. Okay, let me begin with these jumping cards. We find the Knight of Cups. We find the 8 of Cups. The King of Rods. And the 9 of Rods. Now, what do these cards tell me? Well, the person this reading is about definitely has romantic interest in you. They really want to share their feelings with you, and they really want to take the romantic initiative in this situation. So they really want to move forward and share their feelings with you, and take whatever is between you a step further. But there's a complicated situation because he also needs to leave something else behind in the same situation. And we find this later on in this card and here as well, that there is a complicated situation that this person is dealing with, which is preventing them from actually going forward and take the romantic initiative. Now, we find the King of Rods and the 9 of Rods. The King of Rods is a very fiery, passionate man, but also very well established, very powerful. He is a leader. This can definitely be the person that this reading is about. He might be blonde haired or red haired, and he may be a leader. So he could be your boss or another authority figure in your life. And he's also having difficulties trusting. He finds it difficult to trust people, and maybe especially in romantic settings. And that is something that he's dealing with. Also, Rods is about passion. It's also sexual energy, which means that there is a lot of sexual energy there. He's a highly sexual oriented man, but and he wants to protect that intimate part of himself. At the same time, he also has a lot to offer in that manner. So this relationship or this potential relationship may be very sexual, with a lot of sexual energy, but also trust issues from his part. The complicated situation that he's dealing with, well, he has this desire to move forward, this desire to grow, this desire to build up his confidence and be happy and enjoy whatever life has to offer. But he is juggling two things. So, and we see that later on as well. This tells me that this romantic interest is probably still in a relationship that he needs to leave behind. He possibly already emotionally disconnected from that relationship, but he still is challenged to actually leave the situation. Now, there may be the insight that this situation is not a good one. You can see this water is very restless and wild, and that means that emotions are all over the place. There's a lot of emotions and instability as well, insecurities. So this is a situation that doesn't allow for growth. So there is a decision to be made, either to choose this one or this one, but he has to choose some path in order to be able to move forward and bring things in the light, in openness. So he really needs to make a decision before he can open up to you or even to his other partner, to say, you know what, I'm in love with someone else, or open up to you about his feelings, or even be publicly about his feelings for you. So he may be on the verge of doing that, but he's been in that relationship quite long, and they've built up a lot of, especially material securities. They probably bought a house together. They have maybe shared money or things like that. And he is very fearful what is going to happen and if he will lose it all. Because, in a case of a marriage, usually the wife also walks away with quite a portion of his money, and I feel that is really what scares him and what is holding him back in a way. He's very focused on the things that he can lose if he decides to leave this other relationship that he is in. So there is a lot of struggle going on, and I feel that this is a pattern in this other relationship. He is struggling to get out of there, but she is, I suspect, financially motivated to stay with him. And he wants to get out. There is this fight going on, there is this struggle going on, and she is kind of holding him like in a lock grip or something like that. I don't know how to say that. And he really needs to fight his way out of there, because she doesn't seem like someone who's willing to let him go. She is very materialistically oriented. Money is very important to her, and it will be a nasty struggle if he wants to get out of there. We find also the Tower, and the Tower tells me that we need a Tower moment in order to be able to share openly and be innocent in this new relationship, because usually this is about memories from childhood experiences, nostalgia. But I feel that something else is going on here, because if he is stuck in this relationship, that she's holding on to the money, and he's worried about what will happen if he gets out of there. He can either bring this situation, this Tower moment, to bring it in himself, or else it will happen for him. Something happened. Something gave him this flash of insight, this moment where he realizes that the old structures that he has built are no longer serving him and need to fall away. And what will remain is this connection, this very friendly, very innocent, very open connection. I feel that this is the effect that you have on him. You make him feel very I wouldn't say childlike, but very like a child, in the sense that there are no reservations, there are no distrust situations, there are no previous wounds that prohibit him and you from sharing. So this connection will be what is left after this tower moment, and it can also be that this tower moment is created because of this connection. There is this very innocent, sweet connection going on between you and him, and maybe that is what makes him realize that there is no way that he can continue with this situation and have this at the same time. So he may be in a very difficult situation right now, where he realizes that his entire life is about to be upset. Things will change drastically, and this is about an insight that he has gotten, that he now knows that the situation needs to change. This is an inevitable. He needs to fight his way out of this relationship in order to find this happiness again. And what we see as well, the 8 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, that this man is a hard worker, and he is very capable of building up financial stability as well. So in the end, not all is lost. Maybe this ex-wife will take a portion of his acquired wealth, but he will be able to generate more, and it will be plenty. So in the end, there is not really a lot of worry. And at the same time, this also means that he is working to create a stable situation, possibly for you to be in. But how much he wants to do this, he still has to work through this nasty situation of leaving his previous relationship, leaving his ex, getting a divorce, before he's able to openly share and work his way to you. So that is what this reading has to say for you. I hope this gave you some insight, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose this ocean colored or petrol colored andara, you have the 4 of fall, the Ace of winter, the 8 of spring, life experience and ego. We find the Prince of summer, the King of fall, the Emperor, the 7 of fall and the 4 of summer. Well, we find a situation where there is definitely the desire to make a move towards beginning a relationship, but I feel that this person is somehow not feeling that they have the resources to do so. They feel they need to hold on to what they have instead of taking on something new. This person may be very in need of security. And we find that as well in these two cards, where the King of Fall is the King of Pentacles. So he is a man who is very generous and very capable in acquiring financial stability. He's very dependable and very trustworthy, and he certainly has an insight, an idea. He may be also thinking things out, having a new way of looking at the situation, a new approach. It can also mean that there may be challenges ahead, but I feel that this person is kind of working out how to get through these challenges in order to be able to get this going. This Prince of Summer, which is the Knight of Cups in other decks, but he is still very reserved. He's holding back his energy. There is nothing tangible at this point, so he's not opening up yet, even though he really wants to. He still needs to kind of figure out how to find his own stability and tackle the problems that may rise if he did make a move in your direction. Now, the Eight of Spring tells me that there is a lot of things going on at the same time, and things are very uncertain. A lot of things have been set in motion, but it's not quite sure how they will turn out. And that, of course, causes a lot of insecurities and a lot of stress, and that also is the reason why this person is holding himself back, because they really want to know what's going on first. They are very much the person that needs security, they need stability, they want structure and logic in order to be strong and successful. That is how they feel their strength, if they can logically derive to a solution and take steps methodically and structured. This man is also very thorough, but also compassionate and righteous. This is very, this man is really, he is a leader. He may be a boss or a CEO or another authority figure, that he's really interested in creating a stable situation where the needs of everyone is met in a right way. But this stability is now very insecure because of all the things that have happened in very quick succession, which makes it very hard for him to find his logic and find this stability again in order to proceed. There is this Tower card again. Things need to fall away. Either he brings this situation about himself, or it is being done for him by some sort of catastrophic event that may cause old things to fall away, but at the same time the new hasn't arrived yet. So there is this no man's land in between the destruction of this tower and being able to harvest the fruits of your labor. So there is this gaping gap, and that is not very appealing to someone who is very into stability, security, and an orderly situation. So this is very chaotic and very insecure. So that is very threatening for this person. It is very threatening for his self-worth, for how he feels about himself, or how to deal with the situation. He may feel that he is stuck in this no man's land between this tower and the harvesting of his fruits. And the harvesting of the fruits is, you know, consuming the relationship with you. So he feels that there needs to be this gap that needs to be crossed, and it making him very, very insecure. And he has the tendency to retract himself. He may close himself off to his environment, and therefore not being able to hear or see what is going on there, and he may possibly miss an opportunity for something. So this is a situation, something dramatic happened, or is about to happen that makes the situation very uncertain, and it's very difficult for him to deal with, especially since he is almost the embodiment of stability and security and dependability. He wants to know what is going to happen. He needs to know where he's at, and he doesn't know that, and that's why he's not making a move. He's not yet making a move. Maybe if things have calmed down a bit, you may be able, but maybe not, to get a message through to him. So this situation has become very unstable and uncertain. So I don't really see him moving. I do see the desire of him to make a move in your direction, but because of everything that happened in between, he's now kind of taken aback, and he's like reconsidering the situation and thinking, maybe this is not a good idea at all. Maybe I should just retract myself from the situation, because this is too triggering for him. This is too much for him to deal with all at the same time or at this point in his life. So I would suggest wait it out. If you really care for this person, you can wait a while until things have calmed down a bit. Maybe he's able to open up again. He's still, this feeling, this desire to share his feelings is definitely there. It can also mean that he's definitely opening up to you, that he may approach you and tell you, you know what, I do like you, but there is so much going on in my life right now, and things have become so uncertain for me that I cannot go forward with you at this point. He needs to take his time and his energy to resolve this situation for himself before he's able to move forward. So I hope this answers your question, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose this blue or indigo andara, these are your cards. We find the Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Empress, the World, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Temperance, and the Two of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a man who is usually very active. He's mentally active, he's an air sign. He likes to strategize, and he's also one to move quickly. So he may be diving in headfirst in situations with this valor to solve the situation, to be the rescuer, to be the knight in shining armor, to save the damsel in distress and slay the dragons. He really wants to be the hero that solves the situation, and he moves quickly, he moves fastly, but it may also mean that he's moving too fast and therefore slips up and makes mistakes. We also find the Page of Swords, and this is about trying out new things, trying out developing mental capabilities. So he may be looking for a new approach to a situation. If we consider these two cards together, this Knight of Swords may be looking for a new approach, trying out new things, how to approach the situation in order to get what he wants. So he has the tendency to move quickly, to go head first, and be quite rigorous in his actions. But also he knows that he needs to do it in a different way to get what he wants. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, I feel that these are representatives of you. He is the King of Pentacles, you are the Queen of Wands. He is a successful man. He is a man, he's very dependable, hardworking. He may be in a powerful position, so he may be a CEO or a financial director or working at a bank in a high position. He's definitely someone who works in a high position and has a lot of responsibilities, but he's also very honest in how he deals with his work. He's very dependable, very trustworthy. And this is you. You are very intuitive, creative, you are energetic, you have a passion, you are fiery. And that is what attracts him to you, that you have this fire, this passion, this energy, and maybe you are drawn to the security and the dependability and the trustworthiness that you see in him. There is definitely the desire to move forward. There is I would say, a merging of energies. There are two energies merging together in harmony. The emotions are very loving and feeling, but there's also a lot of sexuality and passion there. So this may even mean that you are not physically together, but thinking of each other, and you may be able to feel each other when you think of each other. That is a very, it's like extrasensory perception, that you, especially you as a Queen of Wands, you can be so sensitive that you can actually pick up on people when they think of you. And the thoughts that are being exchanged are very passionate, very fiery and sexual of nature as well. But this can also mean a twin flame, a soulmate connection, and I really see two energies merging and being together in a spiritual sense. Not necessarily in reality, but definitely in the mind and in the emotional aspects of this energetic union. I don't know how else to say it, but it's also a very erotic. Now we find two major arcana. We find the Empress and Temperance. And the Empress really wants to create something and bring things to fruition and use her feminine energies to nurture things into growth and prosperity and abundance. But there's also the need to hold back and to be conservative, not carry your heart on your sleeve, but be a bit more preserved, because this situation, if he actually is someone in an authority position, he may be your boss or someone like that, he may be in a predicament if you openly show these feelings that are there, this passion and this romantic feeling. They are merging, but you need to kind of keep it for yourself. And the Empress really wants to use her feminine qualities to bring things to fruition, but I really feel that you need to hold back on that. You possibly need to give him some time to finish off another situation, because something is coming to a conclusion. A certain situation is coming to a conclusion, and there is a choice to be made, and I think this is a choice that he has to make. He has to make a choice, but he is not able to oversee the consequences of his choice. So it's very difficult to make this choice, but something is definitely coming to a conclusion. It may be that he is in a relationship, or that he is weighing his options on how to bring this situation, especially this, into the real world, so to speak, from the imaginary realm into the physical realm, to conclude this phase and to begin something new. He doesn't know what he can expect if he ends this situation or if he goes through with it. So this is very difficult and very insecure for him as well. And I must say, this is in the other readings also a bit of the theme. It possibly is the theme of the day, but many of the other readings also show this desire to be together, wanting to be together, and it's about a situation in which one of them, mostly the male, is in a powerful situation, in an authority situation, and that makes things very complicated. But he's still looking for a way to solve this situation. He just doesn't know how to do it at this point. He can't oversee the consequences of his actions, but there is this fruition, this conclusion, this fulfillment of the situation. And the Empress, she's usually also depicted as a pregnant woman, and if you see that pregnancy takes time before a child is born, and this may also say that it takes time before this situation will be resolved and culminate into the next phase. So you maybe have to be patient if you want to be with him. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. And for those of you who chose this purple andara, we have the Six of Swords, the Four of Wands, Strength, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. The Six of Swords combined with the Ten of Pentacles. This means that the person that this reading is about needs to leave a very abundant situation. They built something up. They built up a marriage or a relationship. They gathered money. They bought property or a house. They are quite well off at this point. They've made a lot of securities for themselves and for their children, but he needs and wants to leave this situation. He wants to get out of it because he feels maybe that it's suffocating him. He feels somehow possibly trapped in this situation. Maybe it is the financial situation that's keeping him trapped, and also even though he has the desire to leave this situation, We see the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands reversed. Now, the Four of Wands is usually about the preparation for a harvest, or the preparation for a celebration or a marriage or things like that. But if I see this card reversed, I think of delay, a delayed harvest, a delayed marriage, a delayed celebration. When you expect a harvest, it's not there. You can't prepare for it. Things have been postponed. And the Knight of Cups is about coming forward with his feelings. So he has postponed coming forward with his feelings in order to start something new. The Wands energy is also a fiery, passionate energy, and it can be sensual and erotic. But it seems that it is postponed because there is this other situation. And I feel that he has the tendency to run away from situations that are difficult. He's avoiding a confrontation. He's trying to escape from his need and possibly even plight to face this situation. So it will take him a lot of strength to go against his natural habit of fleeing and escaping the situation. He needs to confront it, but it takes a lot of strength of him. Will he be able to get that strength? Well, we see the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, so he's definitely trying to figure out a way to make this confrontation and to find the strength to do it. But at this point, nothing tangible is visible. The Ace of Pentacles usually is about a new beginning, something tangible coming into your life, something that you can touch, that you can feel. It usually is about material aspects, but it can also be about actually being together in a relationship situation. But he's trying to work out how to do it, but he has, at this point, it seems that he doesn't have the experience or the knowledge that he needs to approach this situation, and therefore it seems to be stalling. Things are delayed. Things are not at this point coming into fruition. We see the Eight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Swords. So the Eight of Pentacles upright is usually about working on improving skills, working on creating something, creating with your hands, building skills and working hard to provide or to make money. Make something materialistic. And the Knight of Swords is like the hero of the deck. He wants to get into the situation and rescue the damsel in distress, but he doesn't seem to put in any effort anymore to do it. So his energy is not focused. He is not putting in the effort at this point to move the situation forward. So it seems that he's still working things out and not able to move forward to create something really tangible. He really needs to deal with his own demons first. He needs to figure out how to cut himself out of this suffocating situation where he's tied. You could think of this as wealth and prosperity, but you can also think of it like staying together because of the house, staying together because of the money, and then it becomes a prison, and that's what he's experiencing, and he really wants to get out of there, but he needs to figure out a way, and he needs to go against his tendencies to avoid a confrontation. So it may be very difficult for him to find the courage and the strength to confront the situation and say, hey, you know what, I am in love with someone else. But at this point it seems that what he feels for you has been postponed. He is postponing to make a move in your direction because he needs to resolve this other situation first, and he knows that. He is not happy with it because he doesn't quite know how to do it yet. So this is a very insecure situation, and this is actually the theme of the day, because most of the other readings are telling a similar story with accents in a different way, but this is what the outcome is of this situation. I can't say for sure if he's able to get this out of his way and make the move, but since this is about a postponing, it tells me that it might happen, but it takes some time. You may need to have some patience and allow him to work the situation out for himself before he can make his move in your direction. So I hope this answers your questions, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye.